The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Dirt Racing Network's live coverage of the Hales Corner Speedway Sim Racing Series, UMP Modifieds on the Summer Series. Every 2 weeks, these guys are going to switch it back and forth between Volusia and Lanier. This is the first race of Volusia, week number 2. We had last week off for Father's Day. Everybody back at it tonight, including my buddy in the booth, Zach Krieger. Zach, you there?
Yes, I am.
Well, another night of racing for the Hales Corners guys, watching these guys work the track in, and a couple of new faces in here tonight. And Jacob Crawford, one of those, and he is atop the leaderboard in time for the practice session. A couple of tenths of a second there. So the new guy, maybe a ringer coming in?
Quite possibly. I think we definitely can't. After last week or last race, we can't count out the new guys coming into the sessions, coming into the series. I know there's a few new guys this week, like you said. I really don't think we can count them out quite yet.
No, and if practice is any indication, he's going to be pretty quick tonight and tough for these guys to handle. Reed Rundle, second quickest, and then Andy Gross. Andy and Reed very close on time, but they're both a couple of tenths behind Mr. Crawford. So this will be an interesting situation with the new guy coming in. Only the second week of racing, so points still really up in the air for these guys, but new faces always bring new challenges, and we'll see if these guys can handle the new faces tonight. About 3 minutes until we get ready to go to the racing with no qualifying this season. That changes things a lot too, and I don't know if you have talked to too many of the drivers about how they feel about no qualifying this season.
I've talked to a few guys, and I think the overall consensus is with the amount of people we're getting in the series, especially, grant it is summer and there are people doing real life racing. I think the consensus is that it's good because it doesn't waste time. If you're fighting with a few other people, and it's difficult to explain, but I think the consensus overall is that it's a good addition. That's all I'll say.
Well, good deal. We're just seconds away from opening ceremonies here. The drivers will be called off the track. We'll get our invocation, our national anthem, and these guys will go directly to heat races. Going to have 2 heat races for you this evening, and we will go straight to our A main. 35 laps tonight for our Gator Chomp 35, presented by Scrub-A-Dub Oil Change Center. Guys down in Georgia, looking for a little redemption. Last week, some of the guys did not have great, or 2 weeks ago, I guess, some of the guys did not have great runs. And they're going to be looking to improve on those. So with a smaller field, maybe a little bit of points up for grabs for these guys. But it is time. The signal has been given for us to go down trackside for our national anthem.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
And now, please welcome Pastor Sam Foley from Port Orange, Florida, to deliver tonight's invocation.
Father, we ask today that you protect and bless those who participate in this race. May they use good sportsmanship and respect for each other. And we'll thank you and praise you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, big thank you once again to the Foley boys for their invocation and the national anthem. Time to go racing. Cars already out on the grid. So let's go through the Scribadub Car Wash starting lineup. Heat number 1 on the pole, the 115 of Rob Warren on his outside. Milkman Designs 1525 Motorsports number 25 from Dakota, Illinois, Jared Crawford. Your second row on the inside, the Central Services Company Incorporated, number 22. From Minneapolis, Minnesota, of Nate Sievert. And on his outside, the TDC Racing Team Buddies Racing Equipment, number 43. He's out of Oxford, Michigan. It's Reed Rundle. Row 3, inside, the DiscountShopTales.com Black Flag Racing, number 74, out of Waterford, Wisconsin, of Peter Brees. And on his outside, the Shark RC Car Bodies, number 112, from Menominee Falls, Wisconsin, of Chris Johnson. And a back row, all by himself, the 126 machine of Dean Wallach. 7 cars. Everybody's going to the feature.
Definitely, and I think that's the fact that everybody's making it to the feature is definitely going to open it up to potentially some more aggressive moves here in the heats. It'll be interesting to see, but we are going to get it going here.
Yeah. Ron Warren is going to the back real quick to jump in there,
Yeah.
Zach. New driver in the series, so that's going to put Nate Sievert on the pole. He'll be the one getting us started.
Green flag, green flag.
Which will go right now. Nate Sievert takes the green flag. Heat one underway. Sievert on the bottom, Crawford on top. I think Crawford's going to get a run here as he heads on the back stretch. They're going to fan out 3 wide. Brees, Sievert, and Crawford. At the end of lap 1, it's going to be Crawford.
Yeah, it looked like Crawford had just too much momentum on the top, and Sievert went through the slick right there, and he's going to give up second to Brees. Now under fire for third with Rundle down the inside, but Sievert found his way to the cushion. They're going to complete lap number 2, still Crawford, then Brees, Sievert, and Rundle, and that was 3 wide again. Now a little contact. Everybody not going to get them back. Sievert.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution
We
is
watched
out.
it happen live. Yeah, we had everything
Caution
right
is
on
out.
those guys. That not a great situation for Nate Sievert, but I think Brees just got in hot, and Sievert tried to cut down, and they barely touched right there. Just got everybody out of shape. Brees was able to grab the car back, but Sievert, he found the outside. retaining wall in the front end of that car, heavily damaged.
Yeah, and I think there may have been a little contact as well. Reed Rundle may have been involved in it. You can see there might be a little touch between him and Nate, so. But I think everybody's going to fan out, and we should be getting back to green in the next few laps.
Yeah, about 2 pace laps here, and then they'll give them the 1 to go. Get everybody lined up. No resets that I know of, so Sievert will just continue with the front of that car crumpled a little bit, but at least he's going to get to race on.
Definitely, as like you said, they're going to double file back up. 25 Blake Crawford going to lead them down the front straight. Sorry, Jacob Crawford, my bad. He will get on the gas. We are back green as he already clears Peter Brees, and Reed Rundo sneaks his way up in that second place off the restart bar.
Part of the problem was starting on the outside. You don't get as short a distance to get down into turn 1. Crawford grabbed it, and Rundle used that short distance to get around Brees. So Crawford, Brees, and Rundle kind of side by side, but Rundle's got the best of that. Brees is third. Chris Johnson up to fourth. Nate Sievert, good recovery. Already passed 2 cars. He's into the top 5 and coming forward. He is working on the inside of Chris Johnson right here.
There's going to be a fight there. Yeah, there's gonna be a fight there. His last lap, right when you started talking about Chris Johnson, he had hit the outside retaining wall coming out of 2. So there's gonna be a fight here for 4th place. It looks like he hits the wall again. He's gonna keep it straight though. Great wheeling here by Chris Johnson. He's gonna find himself in 5th place now.
Yeah, Rob Warren, the 15 car there on the inside, started shotgun on the field. He's worked his way into 4th as he got around Johnson when he nicked the fence. Sievert sitting behind Johnson in the 6th spot, and then Dean Wallach at good distance back. But right now the battle's for 2nd. Coming to the 2 to go, Mark Crawford will see it first, but Brees around the inside takes 2nd, back from Rundle. We got a good race for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th here.
Peter Brees potentially using some of his regular big block modified experience here at Lanier to wheel his way around the track past Rundo. The white flag is out here, and Reed Rundo comes under challenge from the 15 of Rob Warren. Chris Johnson, though, on the top, might be looking to take 4th place here from Warren. They're going to head into 3 and 4. Warren dives in trying. Jacob Crawford gets the win, and it will pan out the rest.
Brees, Rundle, Warren, Johnson, Sievert, and Wallach in that order. Good battle there, 2nd on back, and that's what we got to look forward to in the feature. We're going to have some great racing on our hands tonight. All right, let's get ready for our Scribadub Car Wash starting lineup in heat race number 2. It's going to be the Milkman Designs 1525 Motorsports number 7. From McChesney Park, Illinois, of Tyler Goodwin on the pole, and on his outside, another Milkman Designs machine. It's 35 of Drake Hartzell out of Genoa, Illinois. Your 2nd row on the inside, the Buddies Racing Equipment. I-41 Raceway number 17. He comes to us from Slinger, Wisconsin. Dean Burnt on the outside of him. That guy, the B-Hull Performance number 70 of J.J. Schilling out of Greendale, Wisconsin. See J.J. in chat talking a little while ago during heat number 1. Had something to say about that incident with the 22 machine. 3rd row, inside the Shark RC Bodies Gross Racing, number 14, out of Hartford, Wisconsin, of Andy Gross, known as outside the CJR Prinatosa, number 64, out of Wauwatosa, Wisconsin. It's going to be Randy Brunner. And on the back, the Brunner Brothers Racing, number 46, out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, of John Brunner. We're ready to go green out of 3 and 4.
Correct, and just punching it in here like he did in the first heat, Tyler Goodwin will make his way to the back of the grid as being new, but the green flag is out here, meaning Dean Burnt takes the green on pole. And right away, Drake Hartzell jumps to that top, and he's going to pull right past Burnt. Jason Schilling going to follow him right through, and we are going to see how the rest of the pack fans out, heading to the line, completing lap 1.
Yeah, Burnt settled into 3rd, then Gross is working around the top side. He's got 4th. Then John Brunner, Randy Brunner, and Tyler Goodwin. Goodwin not able to really do a whole lot, trying to come off the bottom. He's on the inside behind the Brunner brothers. Oh, he really had to get on the binders, got the car out of shape as John Brunner got that 46 machine pretty much woed up down there in 3 and 4. That holds things up, but it is all Hartzell out in front, and I don't know if Schilling's going to be able to run him down.
Definitely, but looking, it looks as Schilling's running maybe a little inch or two higher than Hartzell, trying to get everything he can out of that car. He seems to be closing the gap a little bit here and there. Schilling seems to be a little more committed through the corners. But we look at this, and it's the top 3 running that top side, and then you have to look back to Dean Burnt, who at least last lap 3 and 4 was running the bottom. As Hartzell gets into the wall, this might open it up for Jason Schilling. He's going to try to take onto that slick line in the middle of the track. Does not have it quite yet.
A little tap on the fence by the 35. It closed the gap, but he's kept his foot in it, kept it up on the high side. And Schilling decided to try to run that slider line, and all he did was spin the right rear. Now closing in, there might be some damage on the 35. Sounds like it might be affecting the way he is able to stay in the throttle, and Schilling may have messed that up right there. I was going to say may have had enough run to throw the slider in 3 and 4, but he nicked the fence. We're down to 3 to go. The top 3 have broken away. Here comes that slider, Schilling. Oh, hard through there. Found the fence, and Hartzell very easily countered that. We'll see if these guys are going to continue to go at it for the last 2 laps.
Well, if there is one thing I know, it is that Jason Schilling loves the slide job. He's going to try it again here in 1 and 2. Slides on up. Eric Hartzell is going to pull right back out in front of him. But one thing that's definitely happened so far is this has allowed Andy Gross in that 14 Shark Bars RC car to catch up to both Jason and Drake. He's going to try to run the bottom here. He gets into the infield. There may have been contact.
Well, that was exciting as Gross clipped the fence, moved up, thought he was going to pancake Hartzell. Hartzell powers on by, picks up the win. J.J. Schilling second, Gross in third. Randy Brunner, the 64, coming home in that 4th spot, and then Dean Burnt eked out 5th over Tyler Goodwin. Or not Goodwin, eked it out over Burnt there. And that was a lot. It looks like we're going to run the B main. I think this is just for the laps. These guys automatically going into our feature. So this race basically just for these guys to get some more practice laps on the track. It'll be John Brunner and Dean Wallach in row 1. Dean Burnt and Nate Sievert in row 2. Tyler Goodwin and Chris Johnson in row 3. And the 4th row, Randy Brunner and Rob Warren. So mixed bag here in this B main. And basically this is just a lap counter. Give the guys a little more time out on this slick surface. And it is getting slick, and I think it's about time for that bottom line to come in. The top's starting to get a little thin.
Definitely, I can say from experience, I was running some sprint cars here this week, and it definitely, that bottom line starts to come in, especially if you can arc it just right to get a good run. It's definitely the line to be on once the track starts to slick up as much as it started to. But definitely that bottom line is definitely going to come into play soon enough. Though I gotta say, looking through the paint schemes, there are a lot of great paint jobs this summer season so far.
Yeah, with the new mod and these guys wanting to really show out a little bit with the televised races each and every week, I think a lot of guys put a little bit of extra effort in either representing something from there or a family past, or really stepping out and putting some really sharp skins on some of these cars. It's about time to go green for this B main.
Definitely, it's going to be the 46
green flag.
Brunner leads them to the green. We are green. He gets a great jump in, like you said. You guys already taken to that bottom. Dean Burnt, Randy Brunner trying, but it doesn't seem to have worked quite yet. Nate Sievert and Chris Johnson still on that top. A few guys have started. There's some little contact further back, but it's going to be John Brunner who leads lap 1, and Nate Sievert, followed in second.
Contact as Johnson tried to close the door out at 2. Sievert gives him a little bump. That opens it up and lets Dean Burnt and Randy Brunner get around Chris Johnson. Johnson keeping that car in the slick, and I think that's a bad choice. I think he needs to get that right rear right where he's at, right there. Keep it up there where that tacky stuff is. It's getting thinner along that wall. It's going to be harder to keep the car there, but if you can get it set on that angle, you can really get a good run. He might be able to go 2 for 1 on the exit right here. And he does move that car back into 4th behind Dean Burnt. But John Brunner running away with this thing. He is way out in front of these guys.
Definitely. It's looking good for him so far. Sievert, though, taking that second spot. I'm watching them coming out of 4. There are a few guys that are flirting with the pit entrance wall that really started to scare me. I know I could never run that low because I would hit the wall, but we're definitely going to see some moves. Oh, as Randy Brunner gets into Dean Byrne, it's going to slow him up a bit. Everybody kept it straight. We stay green.
Dean Wallach went to the back, and now he finds himself here in 5th and about to challenge for 4th around the outside on Dean Byrne. Oh, he got the car way sideways there. He's going to give up a couple of spots here, it looks like. Just we are giving him a little bit of praise. That mistake off the top. But John Brunner has been in command of this thing since the drop of the green flag. He doesn't look to be slowing down a bit.
John used everybody else behind him getting sort of a slower start, I would say, but also them really starting the fight. Used that perfectly to his advantage as he was able just to pull away. And so far, like you said, he's leading this by a good second. But I wouldn't count out Nate Sievert quite yet. I've noticed the last few laps he started to close this gap. Does he have anything to go, though, with 7 to go?
Well,
Sorry,
Chris Johnson making a great run. Now Brunner makes a big mistake in 3 and 4. Got the car way sideways. That's going to close the gap. 7/10 at the line with just under 4 to go. And Johnson has found that line. He's keeping that right rear up there in that tacky stuff along the wall. Another mistake from Brunner. This time, that's the lead for you. Chris Johnson out in front of the B main with just about 2 laps to go.
It'd be interesting to see here if Chris Johnson can hold it. He's got about half a straightaway lead as he comes to the white flag. Brunner and Sievert are going to start fighting here for that second spot. Sievert on top will clear Brunner out of 2, and we might have to see something here from the 7 of Tyler Goodwin on top. Does he have anything for Brunner? Doesn't look like it.
Yeah, Brunner almost got back to Sievert right there for second. He ends up 3rd. Goodwin, Burnt, Randy Brunner, then Rob Warren and Dean Wallach in that order. But Chris Johnson with a good run through the field. Maybe he's found something for the feature. And we get ready to put these guys out here for 35 laps. He may be the car to watch coming from somewhere about mid-pack.
Definitely, as if the little track went on and got a whole new track condition for the feature.
I think we're going to see this front row peel out and go to the back. John Brunner and Nate Sievert are going to peel out, and they're going to roll to the back. That's going to open it up for maybe Chris Johnson and Andy Gross. All right, they may leave this. I don't know. That's 4 cars that came out of the B that are starting in front of these guys with their big invert number here. So it's John Brunner and Nate Sievert on the front row, then Chris Johnson and Andy Gross. Reed Rundle and J.J. Schilling in row 3. Peter Brees and Drake Hartzell, row 4. Row 5 will be Jacob Crawford and Tyler Goodwin. Dean Burnt and Randy Brunner in row 6. And Rob Warren and Dean Wallach in row 7. So we'll see if they have these guys going to the back, if they're going to leave them there, because 4 cars came out of that B, and they're going to start up front here.
Looks as if they're just going to keep them how they are, which definitely adds some interest to the race, as you got some of the guys that went from the B.
Well, they were fast in the B,
yeah,
because
exactly.
Brunner really got out in front of these guys. Chris Johnson had a lot of ground to make up, and he did it. So it's going to be exciting to see what the guys that really, finished close to the front in their heats are going to do to try to get around these guys, because some of these guys are pretty quick, even though they were in the B main.
Definitely, but we will see them head through turn 4. Brunner and Sievert on the front row.
Green flag.
We go
flag.
green for the Scrum Up Wash and Oil Change UMP Modified Season race number 2 from Lanier. A great start from Nate Sievert. He's just going to hold it up top, and he will take the lead out of turn 2. Andy Gross and Jason Schilling challenging for that second spot. They're almost going to go 4 wide for the lead out of turn 4. It's going to be Sievert followed by Schilling and Gross. That top 3.
Now Schilling with the cut under out at 2. Car sideways.
Big pile.
Caution. That's going to back things up, and I think Schilling had a shot at getting the lead, but he is going to relinquish that to Sievert once again. We're going to go back. I can't remember who I saw get sideways. One is
Brunner,
46, John Brunner, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he was one.
Yeah.
Let's go back. We're going to watch these guys get 4 wide down here in 3 and 4. This is going to happen out of turn 2. And Brunner just gets a little too close to the wall, 3 and 4, and really checked him up. I think he does something a little bit different. Yeah, went wide and cut down. Car on his inside. It's going to get into him. Oh, and then the 25 of Crawford really got whacked right there. So hopefully not a lot of damage on the 25 car. He got whacked pretty hard in the left rear right there.
Definitely, and it was kind of interesting to see Jason Schilling coming from that. I think he started 6th position, if I'm correct. Yep, starting that 6th position. Within 2 laps, made his way up to 2nd. That outside line, really, with the track prep that was done before the feature, that outside line has really started to come in again.
Yeah, a little move in where they have the tacky, and we'll see if it opens up for 2 lanes or not.
Green flag, green
Green
flag.
flag back in the air. Sievert got a good start. We'll see if he can hold on through the first lap on the restart. Maybe make these guys work for it. Andy Gross isn't going to wait very long. He went to the inside on Schilling. He's going to take 2nd. Moves Schilling back to 3rd, and Gross ain't done. He's going for the lead right here. Couldn't get inside on Sievert. He'll settle for 2nd at the end of the restart. 3 down, 32 still to go. Here comes Hartzell. Brunner. That got tight. I saw Chris Johnson nick the wall. Here comes Reed Rundle. That your top 5 right now. Sievert, Gross, Schilling, Brunner, and Hartzell. Good battle for 5th right here. Rundle needs to clear these guys. He's going to make a run up here and try to get the lead. And that's what's going on right now up front, a battle for the lead.
Definitely, and I was going to say at the restart, who would have guessed that it would have been Andy Gross who took full advantage of it, got past Jason Schilling. But Nate Sievert seeming to be doing really well on that middle bottom line. He's going to maintain the lead here. It seems as if Gross is able to get just next to Sievert, but I think Sievert kind of closes the door a little bit. Really is helping Jason Schilling catching back up, and oh, there's contact between Rundle and Brunner. I think everybody's going to keep it straight, and we will stay green. But here's a move for the lead. Andy Gross, little bump to Nate Sievert. He's going to pull up side by side with him and take the lead. No, it was scored Sievert as the leader, but Andy Gross, quite clearly though, in the lead right now.
Yeah, he moved Sievert up off the bottom, got the nose in there. Now Sievert trying to hang on for 2nd. Schilling right behind that, really starting to put the pressure on. They've got a little gap between Schilling and the battle. 2 wide, 2 deep here. Hartzell on top, Brunner on the bottom, then Rundle on the inside, and Johnson on the outside. That's inside of 7th right there. 8th place, Jacob Crawford trying to make a bid to get around these guys where they battle. Forces it down on the bottom, and he's going to clear Rundle this time out of 2.
Well, we saw Gross give the door to Sievert a little bit, kind of bumped him away, and I think that's one of the nice things about these UMP modifieds is you can definitely make a lot of some contact. The caution is going to come out here.
Crawford and Warren.
No. Yes. Yep.
Jacob Crawford and Rob Warren, they were nose to tail. Crawford went down inside. Oh, Crawford got a little help from Brees. Got down in there, and then Warren just really didn't have any place to go. The gate was shut, and he could not get around, ended up spinning the car out. So it was contact in front of him that caused him to end up spinning out.
Definitely, and we're gonna see Peter Brees tap out for that incident. He will move to the back, but right for that caution, what I was saying, how these cars, you're definitely allowed to get a little more contact here and there with guys, and some of these guys not afraid to put the door to a few of their fellow racers, and I think that's one of the good things about racing these UMP modifieds, whereas you could look at the Dirt Slingers Racing League with the sprint cars, some contact not very common in those cars, so it's definitely cool to be able to give the bumper a little bit and kind of push someone through a corner.
Well, open wheel racing is more gentlemanly. They try not to touch each other.
Oh. My experiences, we're coming back to green. Andy Gross, who would have guessed, gets a great restart since Schilling is able to pull up in front of Sievert. That bottom or that top line.
Slide job.
Nuts.
Hartzell.
Yeah.
Big slider going into 1 and 2 on the restart. Slammed to the door. threw the deadbolt in it and locked it shut on Sievert. He is going to get into third, but Brunner kind of snuck through there with him during the checkup, and now Brunner's battling for fourth. He's staying down on the inside. He may be able to get back to Hartzell if the bottom starts to roll back in.
Definitely, and this bottom line has really come into play. We have not seen many people, as I say that, about half the grid goes up to the top, including our second place driver, Jason Schilling, trying to get everything he can out of that top. And it's definitely become a two-lane racetrack. I think we're seeing as Hartzell fighting off Sievert here. They're going to go side by side down the back stretch. Sievert with some extra horsepower on that top. Seems to be finding a good rhythm. He gets a little too slideways, and Hartzell is going to pull up and get that spot still. But Andy Gross up front has started to sprint away. About a second gap now to the second place driver. That's 70 of Jason Schilling.
Yeah, Schilling went back to the bottom, found out the top. Really not any faster. Not even a tenth slower, but not any faster. Hartzell's been running the slider line in 1 and 2, staying on the top of 3 and 4. Sievert's been staying up top all the way around. Randy Brunner's been staying on the bottom. That's your top 5. Then Johnson and Rundle side by side, 6 and 7. Goodwin, Burnt, and Brees back here in a heck of a battle. As Peter Brees starting to recover a little bit from his tap out on the incident with Crawford a few laps ago, trying to make his way back inside the top 10 here.
That last time by, Andy was 2/10 faster than Jason Schilling. So Gross definitely has found a combination that works here at Lanier. He is going to make his way to lap 20. It's about a second and 2/10 between him and the 70 of Jason Schilling.
Yeah, about 1.3 at the line right here. Looking at Nate Sievert right now in fourth. The battle, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th right here. Johnson, Brunner side by side. And then on the top, Goodwin, Rundle, that 43 machine. That's through 8th place. This has been a good battle. These guys have stayed side by side for a number of laps now. No one has a clear advantage. You're looking on the stopwatch, all 15.6, 15.7. And really, really close, no matter which line you're running right now. But at the front, Gross, 1.6 seconds now as we missed 2 laps. So he picked up 0.3 of a second in the last 2 laps. And these guys not wasting any time picking them up, putting them down. They're getting down to about 10 to go here in a couple of laps.
That down the back stretch that last time, Chris Johnson had hit the wall. Good to keep his position though. So we're definitely seeing this back of the pack fight for around 6th place, 7th place, I would say, 5th actually. Starting to become really fierce as there are certain guys trying to make a move. There's some contact between Reed Rundle and I think that's great. This 68 of Randy Brunner. Everybody kept it straight though. We stay green.
Reed Rundle in the suit, trying to get back into the 2-wide battle. He's behind Brunner. About 6 seconds off the lead, a little less. Right through the middle, you see that dark dirt right there off that rock screen. That's where he wants to keep the right rear. Brees right beside him. Pulled the car alongside. You can stay there. You can get a lot of grip, a lot of forward bite. Peter Brees uses the top side to go around. Caution on the Speedway.
Jacob Crawford is around. Maybe a little help from, oh, no.
Crawford up around the top right here. Out of 2, clips the fence a little, then really gets into it. Oh, and he found the right rear. Oh, yeah. And John Brunner came through there. Both of those cars may have severe suspension damage. Crawford found the opening to the track there in turn 3 and then gets hammered by Brunner just sitting in the track. So Crawford in, yeah, that car, we call it crab walking. It is rear end pointed left, nose pointed to the far left there. It's not driving straight, and that is not repairable without a quick repair. So
yep, he's just gonna have to live with it, I think, as he's on track still. He
He went
is.
to the pits. Crawford went to the pits.
Oh,
I
did he?
think John Brunner stayed out, though. But Gross, Schilling,
Oh, yeah.
Hartzell, Sievert, Johnson, Goodwin, Brunner, Brees, Rundle, and Warren are the top 10 right now. Then Dean Burnt, John Brunner, and Dean Wallach.
Single file restart here as they had just won the green, so they will be going green here on the back stretch. Pace car will pull off, and Andy Gross is going to lead them back to the green here, holding that top line, potentially not exactly where he wants to be on this restart, but knows it's going to be a fast spot.
Green, green, green.
Andy Gross on a restart, though, is probably the most dangerous combination. He gets going, and it's a big gap already. Schilling followed by Hartzell, Sievert. Sievert gets into the wall. It's going to be a 3-horse race here between Gross, Schilling, and Hartzell. The front three have already started the breakaway. We're going to see Jason Schilling go for a move here, at least try it on Andy Gross. Slides up. Gross is going to be able to pull side by side with him. Jason Schilling going to try to get back to that top. He's definitely going to put it there. And there's some little contact. They're all keeping straight, I think.
Andy Gross with the in low up to the outside. Late move right there. Now he's going to pin the car down in and push Schilling right against the inside wall.
Caution is out.
And caution again. Who for this time? Nate Sievert?
Maybe.
Nate Sievert. It looks like Nate Sievert is in the entrance over there in turn 3 from the outside of the track. We'll see what happened to him.
Contact with Rundle and the 7 of Tyler Goodwin.
Tyler Goodwin, yeah. He and Goodwin got together in the backstretch. And that moved him. That's the second time the 22 car has been in an incident tonight.
Yeah.
And really, neither one of them his doing. He's just the unfortunate recipient of all the damage.
Definitely, and I'll say Reed Rundle was not actually involved in that incident. He was just wrong place at the wrong time when I was looking back the replay, but he will find his way to that 5th spot now. But it's going to be interesting to see with 4 to go at line. Going to be interesting to see if Schilling has anything for Gross. We saw him trying to get close up there, but who knows what Schilling will do. It'll be the question of what is Schilling willing to do to get this win tonight.
Well, if he doesn't time this up right, I don't know that it's going to make a lot of difference. He's going to have to time this start and try to get him early because Gross is really covering all the lines to keep drivers behind him right now. And another great start. 7-8 car lengths. That is a lot to make up. It may not be nearly enough, though, because Schilling stayed in the sticky and Gross went through the slick. And we're going to get around here to 3 to go. We'll see what the gap is. Right now it looks like about 0.6 of a second. And if Gross can keep that car working down there on the bottom, I don't know that Schilling can do much about this.
Well, if there's one thing I know, it is never to count out the top or Jason Schilling, and a duel like that is definitely deadly. Schilling trying still to close that gap to Gross. 2 to go here. Schilling really running that top. He's closing the gap majorly. Gross is going to pull up top to try to block him. But Schilling on that top. Gross is going to try to slide up.
Did it again. That time Schilling was able to counter it. Schilling was able to counter it. Gets into the cushion. White flag in the air. Last lap. Down the backstretch. Oh, Gross went to the inside. Schilling tapped him. That opens it up for Hartzell. Coming to the line out of 4. Gross, Schilling, and Hartzell, your top 3. Good finish at the end. And Gross did the same thing. Schilling had the top side rolling, and he went in low and brought that car all the way to the outside. But that time, Schilling was able to cut underneath. Just couldn't stick it into on the slide job, and he got the right rear just up on top of the cushion. I think he had to breathe the throttle a little bit.
Definitely a enthralling finish to this second round.
So we're going to let these guys get parked in here. And we will get down track side. So we can chat with the fellas.
Definitely.
Let's grab Mr. Hartzell. Bring him to the waiting room real quick. In fact, why don't we bring him in here while I grab the other guys? You holler at Drake.
User welcome to your channel.
All right. Well, our third place finisher of the night, number 35 of Drake Hartzell. Drake, tell us about your run tonight.
It was pretty good. I'm just coming off of a win over at the RC track in Waupun, Wisconsin, and I really wasn't expecting to do all that good. I rushed home to get here, fired up the computer with about 5 minutes to spare, but oh my gosh, that was a fun run. At the end, I thought I was going to have something for Andy and sorry, I forgot who else I was battling, but that was fun. I gave her a little too much throttle coming off the corner in turn 4, but that was really fun.
Definitely looked like that on the broadcast, especially on that last restart. You got a really good restart, and you started the pull away from the back of the pack. What was your mentality when you saw the back was starting to get a little farther away and the front was starting to get a little further? Did you think you could have potentially made a move, or were you just content?
To be honest, I didn't even know I was pulling away from the back. I was looking forward. If I look in my mirror, unless I'm doing a slide job, that's the only reason I use the mirror. If I look back, I'd think I'm slow, and I don't think I'm slow. I think I'm competitive with these guys. I definitely did not think I had a shot at this, but I was hanging in there, hoping for something like what happened on the last lap to happen.
Definitely. Well, we saw you had a few guys on the car. Who are you wanting to thank tonight?
I want to thank 1525 Motorsports for helping me get a little better at driving. They kind of been showing me lines, and Milkman Designs for painting this car. It looks pretty good. The same group of guys. I like them. And I also want to give a shout out to the guys over at the R Track and RC Track in Waupun, Attitude Raceway. Go check them out on Facebook or their website. And that was fun today. This morning we just beat the rain. We got the track dried out and had a fun field of racing. Then came out here and had a blast with you guys.
Well, we will let you go and spray that third place champagne. Congratulations on your third place finish again.
Thank you.
User was moved out of
That
your
was Drake
channel.
Hartzell, your third place finisher. I think Roger's going to pull up Jason Schilling and ask him a few questions.
User was moved
JJ
to your
Schilling, got a
channel.
copy.
Yes, sir.
Well, hell of a battle there at the end, man. You had a couple of shots at the 14 car. Talk to us about those last few laps.
I tried everything I could. Andy did what he had to do. He's been sliders, crossing them. Don't blame him. I'm legit sweating after that. Wow.
Yeah, it looked like it was pretty intense out there. He did the same thing to you twice. The second time you were able to counter it. Just couldn't make the sliders stick in 1 and 2. Just get in there a little bit hot and jump the cushion.
Yeah. I really wanted to win, but I'll take a top 3 any day.
Well, still an awesome run, man. Good night for everybody. Good long green flag runs out here. And how much does the track change?
The track changed to be good at the end. I was hoping the top side would come in a little bit quicker, but it didn't. When the yellow came out the first time, I was like, this is kind of like my only shot to do it.
Yeah, always good to take shots when you can, when they afford the opportunity to you. But a fantastic run nonetheless. I'm sure you got some shout-outs for us.
Yeah, J&A Auto, Turin, Roscoff, Velume, Motorsports, Richie's Auto.
All right, man. Well, thanks for chatting with us. Congratulations again on a great run, and we look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks back at Volusia.
Yep, see you guys.
Second place finisher, Mr. J.J. Schilling. Well, let's get the guy that did all the hard work tonight. He brought the 14 car
User was
from
moved to your channel.
couple of 3 rows back, took the lead early, and then never really got challenged till the last few laps. Mr. Andy Gross.
How's it going, Roger?
Pretty good, buddy. Seems like it's going really good in the 14 camp, man. Great run tonight. Tell us about the start, and then tell us about those last couple of shots that Schilling took at you.
Yeah, I mean, I was just keeping her smooth, and I didn't really know whether I should go to the top or the bottom, and I just practiced being smooth, going right through the middle, bottom, and it seemed to pay off tonight. Just love driving right through that slick stuff, and not using up the equipment too much, and just try to keep her underneath me.
Well, still a good run. You got a challenge there, and did you know how close he was when you were making those moves to lock the door on him?
No, I didn't. I felt like a sitting duck, and the tracks like that, and you had such a long run and didn't have any challenges, and and then the caution comes out, and you're like, well, do we go to the high side? Do we just hang out where we were? And it kind of really paid off to keep around the bottom tonight and be smooth.
Well, great run. I'm sure you've got some people you'd like to thank for being on the car with you this week.
Yeah, as always, I want to thank my main sponsor of Brian Hamer and Heather Hamer at B&H Builders. I want to thank Henco Waterjet Supply, Nate Novak, Paul Peterson at Shark RC Bodies, Dave Kajerski at Ski Graphics. I want to thank all the guys at Attitude Raceway that is watching tonight. And give a shout out to my wife for thanks for putting up with all my crap, and my family for watching this kind of stuff. So, and your broadcast is always phenomenal. And we'll see you next week.
All right, man. Well, thanks for chatting with us, and we do look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks back at Volusia, buddy.
That's right, 2 weeks. All right, see you in Volusia.
User was
Andy
moved out of
Gross,
the
your
challenge.
winner tonight. Quick look at the final results here. Gross wins it. Schilling was second. Hartzell in third. Then Chris Johnson all the way up to fourth tonight. Got to keep an eye on that guy. He's been making giant strides since we switched over to the UMP and the every other week format. Chris Johnson's been quick all of this season so far. Reed Rundle in fifth. Randy Brunner sixth. Rob Warren was seventh. Peter Brace eighth. Ninth to Dean Burnt. Dean Wallach in 10th. John Brunner was 11th. Tyler Goodwin in 12th. Nate Sievert was 13th. And Jacob Crawford, 14th place tonight. A couple of new faces. A lot of good, close, even racing again this time around. Zach, final thoughts?
Well, heading into this race tonight, I was definitely interested to see how the drivers would change their sort of driving aspect due to the circumstance that Volusia and Lanier are completely different tracks, and I think we definitely saw a lot of guys trying out lines that may not have been the fastest, and I think we got to see a lot of guys getting it to work, but it's definitely a good race, and I think in 2 weeks we're going to have a great show as well, like we have been.
Yeah, I think we'll have another great race down Volusia again for the third round of this thing. I'm looking forward to it. Good to have the couple of weeks off. That means we're going to be back on the 11th. Is that right?
I am pretty sure, yeah.
So I will not see you before then, man. It's been fun as always. I appreciate you being in the booth. Thanks for being here, and get a hold of me pretty soon, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for having me again.
All right, that is going to do it for us tonight with the Hales Corners Speedway Sim Racing, guys. Fantastic race once again. Congratulations to Andy Gross for picking up the win. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. We'll be back at Volusia. For myself, Zach Krieger, and Dominic Santini here at the Dirt Racing Network. We know you can choose to watch it anywhere. We're glad you watch it here. Guys, don't forget, like, shares, and follow us on Facebook. Subscribe.